JP Infrastructure, once a titan in Indian real estate landscape, now stands as a cautionary tale of aggressive expansion, mounting debt, political challenges, and a changing economic climate. There was a time when JP Group project would sell out the day after they were announced. Their townships and developments became synonymous with luxurious living, and investing in them was seen as a matter of prestige. The scale of investment in JP projects was enormous. If you live in North India, chances are you know someone who invested in a JP property. However, this was just the beginning for JP Group in real estate. You have likely heard the saying, the beginning is always the hardest. In real estate, it's often the opposite. Starting a project can be relatively easy. The real challenges lies in delivering it. JP Group's journey exemplifies this struggle, and their story is one of the many in the industry. Welcome to another episode of Reality Unplugged by White Hat Reality. Today we'll explore the rise and fall of JP Greens. The episode is packed with insights, so stay tuned until the end. JP Group's journey began in 1967 with Mr. Jayaprakash Gaur at the helm. After completing his civil engineering degree from IIT Roorkee, Mr. Gaur joined the state government's irrigation department as a junior engineer. However, his entrepreneurial spirit soon led him to resign and start his own venture. 2 decades later, he established Jayaprakash Associates, laying the foundation for the JP Group, a civil engineering and construction company. Under the umbrella of Jayaprakash Associates Limited, commonly known as JP Group, the company diversified its investments across various sectors. These include cement manufacturing, hydropower generation projects, real estate developments, sport ventures like creating Buddh International Circuit, and infrastructure projects such as the Yamuna Expressway. These are just a few of the areas where the JP Group has been highly active. By 2010, the JP Group had grown into a prominent conglomerate and was regarded as one of the most respected companies in India. Mr. Jayaprakash was recognized by Forbes magazine as the 48th richest person in the country, with an estimated wealth of $1.5 billion in 2010. Although the company diversified into many fields, today's video will focus primarily on JP's infrastructure wing. JP Infrastructure, a subsidiary of JP Group, emerged in the early 2000s with a vision of becoming a leading player in India's infrastructure development. The Noida-based real estate and infrastructure projects were primarily led by Mr. Manoj Gaur, the son of Mr. Jayaprakash Gaur. The state government of Uttar Pradesh adopted an unconventional approach for areas like Noida, Greater Noida, and Yamuna Expressway. They offered land at a significantly reduced price, just 30% of its actual value, on a 99 years lease basis. The JP Group saw an opportunity in this, but this is not it. In 2003, the JP Group landed a major deal, the concession agreement for the Yamuna Expressway. This agreement set up that year gave them the rights to develop over 2,500 hectares of land. The deal was essentially a barter. JP would build and invest in the Yamuna Expressway, and in return, they got the land at highly subsidized rates. The effective price for this land was way below than the market value, raising eyebrows all around. Many suspected a cozy friends with benefits arrangement between JP and then Mayawati-led government in Uttar Pradesh. The favorable lease terms and concession agreement provided JP with a perfect opportunity to launch big as a real estate developer. The Yamuna Expressway. The total cost of building this impressive project was a staggering 13,000 crores, equivalent to over $2.5 billion in 2012. JP created an expressway that exceeded India's expectations at that time, setting a new standard for Indian infrastructure. The JP Group embarked on the development of 4 significant residential townships. JP Greens in Greater Noida, spanning 452 acres, their first project initiated in the early 2000s prior to Yamuna Expressway. JP Westtown covers an expansive 1,063 acres. JP Sports City spans approximately 4,500 acres, and JP Greens in Agra also contributed to their diverse portfolio. While the estimated worth of these projects at the time is hard to determine, their total value in today's market exceeds 1 lakh crores or $12 billion. These projects included 32,000 apartments, along with plots, villas, hospitals, schools, and numerous other amenities. Additionally, they featured 2 international level golf courses designed by renowned golf veterans Greg Norman and Graham Cook and Associates. The JP Group promised their home buyers India's finest homes, offering spectacular views, exceptional convenience, and top-notch amenities. By combining all these townships, the JP Group holds over 6,500 acres of land, establishing itself as one of the India's largest landholders. The prestigious Buddh International Circuit is India's only Formula One level racing track, built with a huge investment close to $400 million. It spans over a massive 874 acres. JP Group made it possible and successfully hosted Formula One racing events for 3 years in a row. Up until now, the story seems very impressive, but there is more to it. Between 2006 and 2012, the JP Group embarked on an aggressive expansion spree, investing a staggering 60,000 crores in real estate, power, and cement. They took on ambitious projects like extravagant Formula One circuit. However, this project also marked the beginning of serious troubles. Now let's understand big 5 reasons. The delay in acquiring land for Yamuna Expressway pushed its completion back by 2 years from the proposed timeline, resulting in a huge loss on JP's expected revenue. The crisis had a significant impact on Indian real estate, leading to low sales and poor cash flow. Even a titan like JP struggled to manage its large-scale projects with limited cash flow. By this time, JP had already collected 80 to 90% of the payments from their home buyers. But with new sales drying up, the inflow of new funds also stopped. To keep this project moving, JP began relying heavily on loans from leading banks like ICICI and SBI. The shift in political power brought significant challenges for the JP Group, affecting key projects like Formula One racing track and Yamuna Expressway. The group's close ties with the Mayawati-led Uttar Pradesh government were no secret, and this favoritism was frowned upon by the opposition. Consequently, JP's heavy reliance on one political faction proved costly when Akhilesh Yadav's Samajwadi Party came into the power, immediately creating hurdles for the company's projects. JP Group's investment in the Buddh International Circuit, estimated between $400 million and $600 million, did not deliver the expected returns and adding to the company's financial strain. There was suspicion of fund diversion, with many believing that a significant portion of the money from JP's residential project was redirected to build the Buddh International Circuit. However, JP's financial model was so complex that it was challenging to trace the exact flow of funds. The Uttarakhand floods of 2013 dealt a severe blow to JP Group by causing significant damage to one of their key hydropower projects. This disaster not only disrupted operations but also compounded the financial challenges the company were already facing. This extensive damage required substantial repair and restoration efforts, leading to increased cost and delays. This setback came at a time when JP was already grappling with mounting debts and financial strains from other troubled ventures. These factors combined to sow the seeds of trouble for the JP Group during this ambitious period. While JP managed to deliver the Yamuna Expressway, Buddh International Circuit, and 2 prestigious golf clubs, the situation worsened for their real estate projects. By the end of 2010, construction on most of JP's real estate developments had slowed significantly, and by 2015, many of these projects were stalled, showing little to no progress. JP Group's rapid rise came to a sudden stop due to massive debt from years of aggressive growth. As their problems grew, investor confidence dropped, stock prices fell, and raising money became harder. But who suffered the most? The home buyers. Out of the 32,000 promised apartments, only 20,000 have been delivered, and those buyers had to wait over a decade to get their homes. The remaining 12,000 apartments are still not built, leaving many people waiting for a place they can finally call a home. With nearly 30,000 crores in debt and stalled real estate projects, the company was struggling to stay afloat. The money they are making from various other sources was not enough to manage this huge financial burden. The home buyers were deeply agitated, seeing their dreams shattered. Many were financially strained, paying loan EMIs while also covering rent for temporary homes. In their frustration, they started visiting the developer's office and groups on a regular basis. Numerous protests were held against the developer, and many buyers took their cases to court, seeking justice for their broken promises. In August 2017, Jaiprakash Associates Limited was listed by the Reserve Bank of India among 26 major loan defaulters, promoting the initiation of bankruptcy proceedings. The RBI directed ICICI Bank to file a petition against JP in the National Company Law Tribunal. In 2018, ICICI Bank filed an insolvency petition against JAL under Section 7 of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. This was followed by a plea from SBI in 2022, which reported a total default of Rs 6,893 crores from just two banks, ICICI and SBI. Later, debts amounting to over 29,000 crores were uncovered, involving 22 banks. Additionally, the Yamuna Expressway Industrial Development Authority demanded further compensation of 1,600 crores for farmers, worsening the situation. The matter escalated to the National Company Law Tribunal, and JP challenged the decision in the higher authority, the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. In the eventful journey of JP Infratech Limited's acquisition, a real estate wing of JP Associates Limited, there were several rounds of bidding, legal battles, and extended proceedings. Initially, NBCC received approval to acquire JIL in March 2020, but the decision faced challenges in higher courts. Eventually, the Supreme Court ordered a fresh bidding round in March 2021, narrowing it down to NBCC and Suraksha Group. In the fourth bidding round, Suraksha Group emerged victorious with 98.66% of the votes, securing the bid over NBCC by a small margin. The NCLT then approved Suraksha Group's acquisition bid on March 7, 2023. However, the process faced further delays as various parties including YIDA contested the NCLT's decision in the NCL 18, seeking compensation of nearly Rs 1,600 crores for farmers. In June 2024, Suraksha Group was granted approval to commence construction and initiate payments to lenders and YIDA for farmers' compensation, followed revised terms of payments. The group aims to deliver all remaining units by December 2027. As this complex chapter nears its conclusion, hopes are high for a positive outcome that fulfills the long-awaited dreams of home buyers. The focus now shifts to Suraksha Group's commitment to construction quality and their potential impact on the Northern India real estate market. Only time will reveal whether they can establish themselves as a trusted name or remain a developer focused solely on bricks and mortar. The tale of JP Group's rise and subsequent challenges offer valuable lessons for real estate buyers and investors alike. While we could not cover every detail, the essence of the story provides insights that every prospective investor should heed. And at last, 3 key learnings for a real estate investors. JP Group's ambitious expansion across various sectors, especially real estate, resulted in substantial debt accumulation. When developers pursue aggressive expansion strategies, it's prudent to exercise caution and avoid investing hastily. While their promises may seem enticing, they often carry high risk that can jeopardize your investment. It's crucial to grasp how developers finance their projects. In JP's case, diverting funds earmarked for construction to other ventures significantly delayed projects and created financial instability. Fund diversion isn't uncommon in the real estate industry. The entire NCR has seen numerous stalled projects due to this practice. Investors should remain vigilant about developers' financial strategies to avoid potential risks associated with diverted funds. While a developer's prestigious reputation may be enticing, it doesn't guarantee project success. It's essential to assess each project on its merits, considering the developer's current financial health and the feasibility of their plans. And that wraps up today's video. To stay informed about the upcoming releases, be sure to subscribe to our channel. If you find our content valuable, please consider sharing it with your friends and family. Your feedback is important to us, so if you feel we have missed any important details in the video or you have any suggestion for future topics, we welcome your input. Until next time, take care and goodbye for now.